Hi, this is Ken McLeod, the Policy Director at the League of American Bicyclists. Welcoming you to this webinar about the Bike League Hub. The Bike League Hub is a new service from the League of American Bicyclists. It is a forum intended for people affiliated with the League of American Bicyclist programs, and in particular the Active Transportation Leadership Institute. Yesterday, we invited a little over 600 people to the Bike League Hub, and over the next several weeks, we will invite an additional 6,000 people. So if you have access to this today, you're one of a select few and got access because you're an advocate that we care deeply about and want to engage with. But there will be more people coming in the next few weeks. I'm going to give it another minute or so, and then I'll start the introduction to the Bike League Hub, and then we'll have a time for questions at the end of the presentation. And my colleague, Amelia Neptune, is also on this call and may chime in if I forget any aspect of the Bike League Hub that we should touch on.
Thanks, Ken. Hi, everybody. This is Amelia. I am the director of the Bicycle Friendly America program, and I'm excited about the hub and excited that you are all on the call today to learn more about it, and look forward to connecting with you all on the hub.
Okay. So if you're on this webinar, or if you received an invitation to this webinar, it's because you're an advocate who is on our MailChimp advocate mailing list. So yesterday you received an email that looks like this, inviting you to watch your inbox for an invitation to the Bike League Hub. And then you should have received an email generated by the Bike League Hub that looks like this. This is a one-time validation link, so if you click on it now, it'll take you there. If you've already clicked on it, you will get this error message. So don't be thrown off by that. You should still be able to sign in, as I will do now. So I'm signing in with my account, and I'm using the password that was generated by the Bike League Hub. So now I'm able to sign in. I have access to the Bike League Hub. The Bike League Hub is organized into spaces. So these spaces exist for particular user groups or topics, and you can find them up here. So there's an Active Transportation Leadership Institute space, which is for active transportation advocates. There's the Hub Center, which is a general space if you don't know where to post a question or an article, or you want to share with the broadest possible audience. The Hub Center is the place to go for that. There's a job board where we will post jobs that we see, and also you are free to post jobs that you are offering. And there are other spaces. For instance, this account has access to our League Cycling Instructor space, which is for league cycling instructors. So people can talk about their education programming, talk about classes they've done, or ask other questions that they might have about the league cycling education program. There are more spaces available, and we have listed them all here in this post. If you believe you should have access to one of these spaces and you currently don't, please contact us. If you are in the Active Transportation Leadership Institute space, you will eventually gain access to these Bicycle-Friendly America spaces. But since we haven't added those people to the Bike League Hub yet, we haven't activated those spaces. But in 2 to 3 weeks, that'll probably go live as those additional 6,000 people get added who will populate these other spaces. So every user of the Bike League Hub has a profile. So if you have logged in, I invite you to look at your profile, upload a picture to replace the default picture, describe yourself in the About Me section, And then these areas, your activity, your topic interests, and your badges will kind of automatically populate as you take action in the Bike League Hub. And so there's two primary ways to take action in the Bike League Hub. You go to this Create button, and you can ask a question or create an article. You should ask a question if you want an answer. This is really set up for you to ask a question in detail on a topic, and then people will give answers. Those answers can be voted on, and moderators can select a best answer if there is one best answer to a question. Otherwise, yeah.
Can I chime in again? So if you start typing in the field where it says type your question here, something you'll see is that it starts to populate with questions that have already been asked. And this is a really great feature that we're excited about, so that you don't get a lot of duplicate questions or conversations happening about the same topic. People can easily find questions that have already been asked and answered. So someone new joining the space a year from now, rather than recreating a question or a conversation that's already taken place, if they start to ask that question, it'll sort of prompt them and show similar questions based on the words they're using. So just keep that in mind as you're typing in the text of the title of your question. It will start to show you other questions that have been asked, and that's something to think about, whether you want to chime in on an existing conversation or start a new thread with a new question.
Thanks for that, Amelia. So you can ask a question and get an answer. You can also create an article. Creating an article is a good thing to do if you want to share something. That might be a resource, that might be a thought you've had, or anything else where you really want to have a conversation about something rather than getting that one best answer. So I'm going to go ahead and create an article right now. You see that there's this parent article section. This is only if you want to add on to an existing article. So if we are having new Active Transportation Leadership Institute activities and I don't want to update the article itself, I can create a new article underneath that parent article. But if it's a first-time post, your first time creating an article, you just go right to the Your Article Title section. And so I'm going to put in a webinar placeholder because this webinar recording will be available on the Bike League Hub after we are through with it. So I just put in my information here, and you can select which space that you're posting in. So I could post this in Help, but since I want it to be broadly seen, I'm going to put it in the Hub Center. And then every article and every question needs a topic. And so I'm just going to put in webinars, and there's already a webinar topic. And so similarly to the question suggestion, topics will be suggested so that we don't have a lot of similar topics. We can try to keep them the same and keep them very relevant. So there, I've posted my article, and people can interact with it now. So there are a variety of ways that people can interact with the content on the Bike League Hub. For an article, somebody can like it. Oh, I can't vote on my votes. But people can like it. People can add a comment. So adding a comment is a great way to kind of have that conversation interaction. It will always be something that is associated with the thing that you commented upon. If there is a question, there is the answer, but you can also comment on the question if you want to have it more associated with the thing that you want to have a conversation about. You can also like something, which will make it more readily available within the system. Everything is organized by default according to likes and interactions like that. So things that are liked the most will be the most prominent. As you see, it's sorted on by votes by default, but you have options to sort by when it was created, so newest first or oldest first if you really want to see the conversation view. Let's see. So another thing that, thank you for the comment.
You're welcome.
Another thing you can do if something is inappropriate, if somebody's making personal attacks, trying to sell products, or otherwise misusing the forum, you can report that, and that'll go into moderation and make us moderators aware of it to take appropriate action. You can see here that because I created this content, I automatically follow this content. That means that I will receive email notifications when somebody takes an action associated with this comment or this content. And that's a really important feature of how this Bike League Hub works. So I'll go a little bit more into that because there's two different pages that you should know about when you're thinking of, I'm not hearing enough through my email, I'm hearing too much through my email, and you want to adjust that. So those two parts are my preferences, and then this notifications tab. By default, you have certain email notification preferences, so you receive email notifications for things that you aren't following, and then different notifications for things that you do follow. And then you can also change when you're added as a follower. So there's a lot of ability to customize this and make sure that you're receiving only as much information as you want to receive, but that you're keeping abreast of everything that you want to know about. The other place that you should be aware of when you're thinking about that and whether or not you're receiving enough notifications is at your profile. This My Subscriptions area shows what you are following. So this is a relatively new profile, so it's not following anything right now. But if you are following topics, questions, articles, you can users, or even entire spaces, all of that is available here, and you can easily unfollow just by clicking on the button that looks like this on that page. The other thing that is good about the Bike League Hub is that there's a variety of ways you can choose to view it. So if you want to see everything all at one time, you can click on the header image and you'll be taken to a all posts view of the Bike League Hub that will show you everything you have access to and all of the content in those spaces. If you want to look at a particular space, you can select that space and you'll only see posts in that space. So that might be a more focused way to do it. You can go over here to the navigation and favorite a space so that it's always visible and it's something you can easily access. And then you can also find other users and go to their profile and learn more about them. And if you want to follow a particular user, you will then get notifications anytime that user takes action. So there's a lot of different ways to customize your experience and make sure that it's really tailored to you and is providing the information that you want. And with that, I'm going to open it up for questions. I'm going to unmute people and hopefully we get some good questions. So does anyone have any questions? Amelia, is there anything you would like to add? You were muted.
Oops. Thank you. Sorry, everyone. I was just going to say that a reminder that more people will be joining the hub in the coming weeks, so definitely keep an eye on it for increased activity, including the different bicycle-friendly America spaces and a bike club space. And if you do have any technical questions about the site or how it works, how to do anything, use the help space as the place to ask those questions, and Ken or I or someone on the league staff will answer those. Take a look around to see what has already been asked in the help center to get a feel for some of the other capabilities. As Ken mentioned, this webinar will be posted, so feel free to share the link once it's up with any colleagues who missed this webinar. And we will probably be doing a few more once the audience of hub users grows, so that we have more opportunities to answer questions in a live format. Yeah, if nobody else has any questions, we can wrap up the webinar. And I just want to reiterate thanks to everyone for joining the hub early and being a part of this community. I think it's going to be a really great way to connect with one another.
Yeah. For this audience, I think it's also important to note that the plan is for, at some point, the Alliance People listserv to be closed down in the coming months. I don't know the exact timing yet. And the plan is for this Bike League Hub, and particularly the Active Transportation Leadership Institute space, to kind of take the place of that People listserv and really be the way that those groups convene. And the email notification preferences that we talked about should help you experience this Bike League Hub in the same way as the listserv if you so choose. But you also have all of this additional functionality that we've covered today. And if you have any questions about that functionality or anything else that you discover as you explore the hub, just please let us know. You can contact me at ken@bikeleague.org, or we have a purpose-built email, hub@bikeleague.org. And with that, thank you for attending. I'll give one last pause for questions, and then have a great day. All right. Have a great day, and we hope to see you on the Bike League Hub.